Have you ever felt so overwhelmed by life's troubles that you just didn't know where to turn? A time when your heart was heavy and your spirit felt weak. If you've ever been there, or perhaps you're there right now, please know you are not alone. Today, we're going to find comfort together by looking into a very powerful and deeply human prayer found in the book of Psalms. We'll be exploring Psalm 6 from the King James Version of the Bible. This psalm is a heartfelt cry to God from King David during a time of immense distress. It's a raw, honest, and relatable expression of pain, but more importantly, it's a beautiful testament to the hope and healing we can find in God. David doesn't hide his suffering, he pours it all out, and in doing so, he teaches us a profound lesson about how to approach God in our own darkest hours. So, find a quiet spot, take a deep breath, and let's journey through these powerful words together, discovering the comfort that awaits us. Let's begin by reading the first 3 verses of Psalm 6. David starts with a plea for mercy. He says, "O Lord, rebuke me not in thine anger, neither chasten me in thy hot displeasure. Have mercy upon me, O Lord, for I am weak. O Lord, heal me, for my bones are vexed. My soul is also sore vexed. But thou, O Lord, how long?" Right from the start, we feel the weight of David's anguish. He feels like he's under God's judgment, whether his suffering was due to a specific sin or just the brokenness of the world. He recognizes God's sovereignty. He's not asking to escape discipline entirely, but he's pleading for it to be tempered with mercy, not anger. He says, "I am weak." This is such an honest admission. So often, we try to be strong, to put on a brave face. But here, David shows us the power of vulnerability before God. He admits his weakness, both physically, "My bones are vexed," and emotionally, "My soul is also sore vexed." That word vexed means shaken, troubled, terrified. It's a deep, soul-level distress. And then he asks that gut-wrenching question we've all asked at some point. How long? How long will this pain last? How long until relief comes? It's a cry from a heart that is at the end of its rope. It shows us that it's okay to ask God these hard questions. It's okay to be honest about our pain and our impatience. God can handle our raw emotions. Now, let's look at verses 4 and 5. David continues his plea, moving from a request for mercy to a desperate appeal for deliverance. He writes, "Return, O Lord, deliver my soul. O save me for thy mercy's sake. For in death there is no remembrance of thee. In the grave who shall give thee thanks?" David feels a sense of distance from God. When he says, "Return, O Lord," it's as if he feels God's presence has withdrawn. In our deepest suffering, it's common to feel this way, to feel abandoned. But notice what David appeals to. Save me for thy mercy's sake. He's not basing his request on his own righteousness or his own good deeds. He knows he doesn't deserve it. Instead, he appeals to God's character, to his mercy, his steadfast love, his hesed in Hebrew. This is a crucial point. Our hope for salvation and deliverance isn't in ourselves, but in who God is. His mercy is our only true foundation. Then, David uses a powerful argument. He says that if he dies, he can no longer praise God among the living. He's essentially saying, "God, my life's purpose is to worship you. If you let me perish, who will give you thanks from the grave?" This isn't a manipulation, but a sincere expression of his desire to live a life of praise. His greatest desire is to continue his relationship with God, to continue giving him glory. It shows that his focus, even in suffering, is ultimately on God. The psalm then takes a turn into an even deeper description of David's suffering in verses 6 and 7. The honesty here is truly striking. He says, "I am weary with my groaning. All the night make I my bed to swim. I water my couch with my tears. Mine eye is consumed with grief. It is grown old because of all mine enemies." Can you feel the exhaustion in these words? I am weary with my groaning. He has cried out for so long that he is physically tired from the effort. He describes his tears as a flood, so abundant that his bed swims in them. This isn't just a few tears. It's a torrent of grief that soaks everything. It's a powerful image of uncontrollable sorrow. This is the kind of grief that keeps you up all night, tossing and turning, replaying your fears and pains over and over. He then describes the physical toll this emotional pain has taken. His eyes are consumed with grief. This could mean his vision is blurred from crying, or simply that the light in his eyes has gone out. They've grown old, suggesting this prolonged suffering has aged him beyond his years. It's a stark reminder that our emotional and spiritual health is deeply connected to our physical well-being. Deep, prolonged stress and sorrow literally wear us down, and he attributes this, in part, to all mine enemies. Whether these were literal enemies or spiritual forces, they were a constant source of pressure and distress. What David does here is give us permission to lament, to fully express the depth of our sorrow to God. He doesn't hold back, and neither should we. And just when it seems the despair is bottomless, the entire tone of the psalm shifts dramatically. This is the turning point, and it's incredible. Look at verses 8 through 10. Depart from me, all the workers of iniquity, for the Lord hath heard the voice of my weeping. The Lord hath heard my supplication. The Lord will receive my prayer. Let all mine enemies be ashamed and sore vexed. Let them return and be ashamed suddenly. What? Up and Ed. It's a complete reversal. One moment, David is drowning in tears, and the next, he is commanding his enemies to depart with bold confidence. The key is in the middle of verse 8. For the Lord hath heard the voice of my weeping. Somewhere in the process of pouring out his heart, David received an assurance. We don't know if it was an audible voice, a feeling in his spirit, or whose to deep-settled faith, but he became certain that God had heard him. His weeping wasn't just noise, it had a voice, and God heard it. This is so encouraging. Our tears, our groans, our silent prayers, they have a voice that reaches the throne of God. He then repeats this assurance for emphasis. The Lord hath heard my supplication. The Lord will receive my prayer. It's past tense, hath heard, and future tense, will receive. He is confident not only that God heard him in that moment, but that God will continue to receive his prayers. This newfound confidence allows him to face his enemies. He's no longer defined by their opposition, but by God's affirmation. He prays that they will be the ones who are ashamed and sore vexed. Using the same word he used to describe his own soul earlier, he is confident that God will vindicate him. The journey from utter despair to bold faith happens right here, through the simple, powerful act of honest prayer. So, what can we take away from this incredible psalm? First, it's okay to not be okay. God invites our honest, raw, and even messy prayers. He wants us to come to him just as we are, with all our weakness, fear, and sorrow. David didn't pretty up his pain for God, and we don't have to either. Our vulnerability is not a liability. It's an invitation for God's grace. Second, our hope is not in our own strength, but in God's mercy. Like David, we can appeal to God's character. He is a God of mercy's sake. When we feel we have nothing left, we still have his unfailing love to cling to. Third, prayer is a journey. It often starts in a place of pain and confusion, but as we persist, as we continue to pour out our hearts, something shifts. Faith begins to rise. We may not get an instant answer or an immediate change in our circumstances, but we can receive the blessed assurance that we have been heard by the God of the universe. That assurance changes everything. It gives us the strength to face another day, to stand firm against our enemies, and to move from a posture of weeping to a posture of confident trust. Psalm 6 is a lifeline for anyone in distress. It's a roadmap that leads us from the valley of weeping to the high ground of faith, reminding us that even our tears have a voice, and our God is always listening. I want to thank you for joining me today to walk through this powerful psalm. It's a deep and emotional passage, and I hope it has brought you a measure of comfort and hope, no matter what you may be facing. The Bible is filled with these raw, honest expressions of human life, and they remind us that we are part of a long story of faith, struggle, and divine rescue. Now, I would love to hear from you. This is a safe and supportive community, and your story matters. In the comments below, I invite you to share a time when God met you in your distress, or maybe share a favorite verse that brings you comfort. It truly helps us reach more people who need to hear a message of hope. Thank you again for being here. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and may you always know that He hears the voice of your weeping. Until next time.